The Modern Game Podcast.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 22 of the Modern Game Podcast. Just the three of us today, but we're going to start with, it's still a top five, but we've played so much Football Manager that we think we have more tactical nous than a lot of the managers in the Prem. So we'll be judging them. And we're going top five managers in the Premier League currently. So it's based on current performance. Well, you're not doing that great.
Oh, well, I'm sick.
You completely thrown me off.
I'm throwing you off there, and I'm sorry.
So yeah, we're judging it based on performance this season. So as much as Mourinho has been a good manager in our lifetime, he's probably not going to make it in here because Spurs are currently 9th. So based on that, and I have to bite my tongue, number 5, I'm going Dean Smith.
Number 5.
Number 5.
See, I'm caught in two minds here because off camera I was saying about Ralph Hasenhüttl and how he had at the start of the season up until pretty much the last 3 games, he's had a really good season at Southampton, and I think I won't be the only one to say it, but he was overachieving at Southampton. I think there was a time where I'm pretty sure they've been in the top 4 this season at some point.
Yeah.
No, obviously not like a mainstay, but yeah, they were top for a couple of games. But I think I will go with Ralph Hasenhüttl just for the season he's had up to now.
Do you want me to go next?
Yeah, go on.
There's only,
yes.
Oh, yeah, you already said. I thought you already said. Dean Smith's my 5th choice.
See, the issue for me with Hasenhüttl is I would have definitely had him in there at about Christmas, but I watched the team this morning, and Southampton have been the worst team in the league since the turn of the new year.
Yeah, that's what
you can't lose 9-0. Was it 9 or 7?
No, it was 9.
You can't it's important. You can't lose 9-0. You just can't do it.
He did last season, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It is embarrassing.
It's stupid how that's even possible. And
that's crazy how he's lost 9-0 twice in 2 seasons.
I swear 9-0's only ever happened 3 times in the Prem as well, and twice have been his Southampton team now.
Yeah. And they've been in the last 2 seasons. Literally,
it's bonkers.
That's crazy. But yeah.
But then, to be fair,
like I said, my reasoning for having him there was for up until like the last 5-6 games.
And he has been tarnished with injuries, to be fair. He was out for a good 6 weeks.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, when he lost Ings, that proper hurt him.
Yeah. But on to Dean Smith, as much as I heavily dislike Villa, I actually don't dislike him. I actually think, put aside the excuse he makes, because some of them are pathetic, but every Prem manager does that. Yeah. He's done really well, and he's turned what was a poor spending season last year into he's actually spent clever, which is what he did at Brentford. And obviously Villa are going to be a mainstay in the Prem now, so we're going to get nowhere near them for the next 10 years again.
So I think last season they were a dodgy goal against Sheffield United away from going down, and now they're probably going to get the Europa League if they carry on the way they're going.
Yeah.
The turnaround in such a short space of time is mad.
Back to their recruitment as well. You got to look at last season and think how much did he have a say in what they recruited last season in terms of their the players they bought in, players like Treasure Guy. Who else did they even bring in last season? Samatta, Nakamba, Wesley. Yeah, they're players that I wouldn't really see Dean Smith thinking he's prime targets, because like you said, Dan, his recruitment at Brentford has always been quite good.
Well, it's always been the Brentford model, niche, bring them up.
Yeah,
and that's what he's done.
Brentford are quite similar to Leicester in terms of.
Oh, they are. They're literally a Championship Leicester.
Yeah, they build players up and then sell them on for a big profit, which it's not a bad idea, but that's
you lose your affiliation to a player.
The thing is, though, what Leicester are doing now. Yeah. What Leicester are doing now, they've built that, but I don't think they're the selling club anymore. They're the club that wants to start pushing to be a regular top 4 side.
When you start because the difficulty is for Brentford, the money's never going to be that big where you finish in the Championship unless you go up.
Yeah.
Whereas for Leicester, if they finish in the Champions League this year, financially, that is ridiculous. Like they'll be in a position where they don't need to sell anyone.
Yeah, exactly.
I do think Brentford will probably come up this season, though, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, they definitely will. But yeah, I think Dean Smith's best signing this year. And I actually think he's been very inconsistent. But Watkins has made a massive difference. But
just having
a goal,
just
he's very
having a striker
inconsistent.
that can score goals.
I think it's his general play, though. I think he does a lot for Grealish that people don't see. His movement, he runs down the channels. Like Wesley was a very static striker. And so when Grealish would drive through the middle, he'd just have this big bloke standing in front of him, whereas Watkins is diverse.
Where Villa were last season, they finished 17th, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to think, you look at the current bottom four, Sheffield United have got David McGoldrick up front, West Brom, we've spoken about their striker situation a lot of times, and Fulham don't have a striker. The difference between those three teams...
Fulham have signed
they don't have a good striker. Well, yeah, but Josh Madder isn't responsible for why they're in the bottom three.
Yeah, they've only had him for one game. Yeah. But he's a good signing, to be fair.
Now Villa have bought Watkins in. They're 4 points behind Liverpool with 2 games in hand. If you would have said that at the end of last season, you'd have just laughed it off.
Yeah,
I think it's also down to their training, because you look before lockdown and after lockdown.
Yeah, do you know, I think their signing of the season, I think, has been Ross Barkley. I know he's been injured for a lot of it, but I think it's a very similar situation to what Lingard has now started to do at West Ham. I think Barkley and Lingard are in the same sort of situation where they've been in the England squad. Lingard not as much plagued with injuries, but I think Barkley he's had his fair share of injuries over the seasons. I think a move to someone like Villa that is something that could reignite his career. Maybe not to get back into the England setup because there's too many talents above him. But for a team like Villa, he could be, if they signed him, he could be a really, really solid player for the next couple of seasons.
I think a lot of players,
what they want to achieve as well.
Yeah,
they're not, like similar to Leicester. They're pushing to go beyond where they should be, and to sign players like Barkley, who under the right management at Chelsea probably would be starting there, probably half the games in the season. And to sign a player like that, it's just, it shows where they want to be in comparison to where they should be at the minute.
But to me, it's where they should be aiming to be as well. Though, as much as it must pain me and Dan to say it, they are a massive club, and they should be. They should be battling for Europe every season.
Yeah, Blues, Wolves, West Brom, Villa.
They're probably the 6th, 7th biggest club in England, and it's they should be pushing for.
They won the European Cup in 1666 or whenever it was. So they must be.
I'm just glad that the bigger the better they get, more fans will notice how their fans embarrass themselves. I've seen.
All right, Dan, we don't need to get onto this.
Grealish comparisons to
Let's
Messi.
move on to number 4. Let's just spoke about number 5 for about 3 hours.
Number 4, I've gone Marcelo Bielsa.
Oh,
that pains me to hear that, man. I've gone for Dean Smith, number 4.
I've gone for Ollie 4th.
You know, I don't. He was it sounds ridiculous. He's an honourable mention. I had him down as my first honourable mention because he's
still in my list.
Not to make it.
Disclaimer: he's still in my list.
So for Bielsa, where you said Hasenhüttl, Jamie, Leeds are above Southampton, and they're a newly promoted.
Sorry,
are you looking for someone?
I was just sorry. Go on.
Leeds are above Southampton in the table, and they're a newly promoted side. And you look at their starting 11 for the last 4 or 5 weeks. 10 of those 11 were the team in the Championship.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say he's not a good manager because I've got a lot of respect for what he has done at Leeds. Being as though last season the season before last, they were just, I don't know, they didn't look like a great Championship team. I mean, obviously they bottled promotion that season. And then the season after
they were never all that.
Won it. But the season
they bottled the playoff.
Last season they were probably obviously they were because they won the league, but they were probably considerably the best team in that league. But I don't know. Probably the reason why I haven't got him in there is because of the way that pundits go on about him.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that.
It really does.
If you just take away, say Sky was never a thing. If you just watched, League, you'd be shocked. because
they're the only team that does what they do in the whole, pretty much the entire footballing world. There's not a team like them that pushes to the intensity they do, and obviously that is Bielsa's style of play. And I've said it before, their recruitment must be quite difficult because there's a certain mould of player that obviously Bielsa's looking for, because it needs to be intense off the ball, intense on the ball, and there's not a lot of players in world football
you
that will give you that.
You basically have to be a Duracell bunny.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
You have to. If you can't run up and down the pitch for 90 minutes, you won't make
The
it.
thing is, I'd love to see Bielsa go to a big club and see whether he can implement that philosophy with players that might not. Like if they, so certain players in the league, if a manager goes to them and goes, yeah, you've got to sprint your bollocks off for 90 minutes, they're just going to say, no, I can't be asked to do that. I'd like to see if he could go to a bigger club with players that he's never worked under and players that don't trust him yet. I wonder whether it would work. That's something I'd like to see maybe in the future.
I didn't think Rafinha would work for them because I didn't think he struck me as a player that will work his bollocks off for 90 minutes.
Man.
I thought he was too much of a technical player to be that sort of like hound off the ball, but he's
quality.
Ridiculous.
He's argued for me. Obviously, I don't watch him week in, week out, and I'm sure any Leeds fans will probably correct me, but I think he's been their best player other than Bamford.
Yeah.
But Bamford's the obvious choice. I think he's brilliant. He's
See what he did to Gary Cahill the other week.
Oh, it was just
disgusting. Anyway,
so on to number 3. Might be a little bit of a surprise to have him this low, but I've got Pep Guardiola.
I've got Ole, number 3.
I've got MC Moyes, number 3.
Oh, Moyes! I forgot about Moyes.
Yeah, Moyes is still in my list somewhere. But I've put Pep third.
Can I just move Hasenhüttl out of my list and put Moyes
put Moyes in.
Yeah. Sorry.
I mean, if you want to talk about Moyes, we'll talk about Moyes first.
Yeah. I mean, he's doing an absolutely ridiculous job at West Ham.
I mean, I'll ruin it now then. I've got Moyes second because he has been absolutely just incredible. He's resurged his career. He had a 3 or 4 year stint after he left United where, everyone clowned him. Joe Weller made that song. Yeah. And he was just a laughing stock. And,
I don't know that song.
Oh, Jamie. I probably can't play it for copyright, but after we record, I'll show you it.
Yeah.
But he's been brilliant. We talk about recruitment. If he's in charge of the recruitment, and I don't know whether he is, he doesn't.
I don't think he is.
Manager that is, but even still, he's still getting the best out of Mikel Antonio, who's never been a real goal scorer until Moyes came in. People like Fornals, who I thought was terrible, and I still don't think it's great. He's getting what looks the best out of. Angelo Bonner's turned into like prime Van Dijk this season.
Craig Dawson's playing quite well as well.
Craig Dawson's great game
scoring
last night
so many goals as well.
He's playing well. He's playing very well.
And it just seems like one of them things that just clicked.
Yeah. You look at their front four, their striker, and then the 3 in behind him. That is a good front four. Like you've got Antonio, Bowen, Ben Rama. Who else is there? Bowen on the right, Ben Rama on the left. Lingard, of course. Lingard as well.
I was literally about to say they've been missing that attacking midfielder, and then I mean Souček and Soufal. I have no idea what Charlie's doing. Souček and Soufal are 2. I think they got them both combined for under 20 million, which is incredible.
Yeah, the checkmates. They're. I mean, Souček could have easily gone to a team like Arsenal and transformed Arsenal's midfield.
I think he could fit in as a squad player for any team in the league, genuinely. Yeah. I think if you put him in the Liverpool midfield, he wouldn't look out of place. He's such a good player. And he's not, I mean, his passing is sometimes very wayward, but he's one of them midfielders. You need that type of midfielder.
He
can do everything though. Like they signed him as a proper CDM and he's one of the best goal scoring midfielders in the Prem.
He's second top scorer since Christmas in the league after Gundogan.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure him and Gundogan are running away with it.
He is a threat from corners and free kicks. Man. He's
starting runs from midfield.
He's
a proper.
He's got to be like 6'4", 6'5".
Oh yeah, he's huge.
He's huge.
Yeah. The thing is, he's a proper like gangly guy. Like he's one of the skinniest guys I've ever seen. But he's one of the most dangerous in the air. Like, he's so strong off the ball as well.
Yeah,
He's,
and
I don't know.
and
He's
like
just
I say, his runs are like that of an attacking midfielder. Like the amount of times you've seen a ball through the middle and he's on the end of it from centre mid.
He's one of those players that in 5 years' time, if he's no longer playing in the Prem, we'll go, yeah, that's similar to a player that the streets won't forget.
Like Meach.
He's one of them players. Like he's no one really would look at him and go, yeah, he's one of the best players the Prem's ever seen. But in terms of what he actually did and how enjoyable he is to watch as a midfielder, goals for a midfielder, he's class.
I think
he's not that old either, is he? I think he's only about 24.
I think he's 26-ish.
26.
I think
he's mid-20s,
yeah. I think as well what Moyes has done to Declan Rice, because Declan Rice was in a bit of a rut in the middle of last season, and everyone was wondering whether it'd be good enough for England. But this season, again last night, I know it's Sheffield United, but he tore them to shreds in midfield.
I really like Rice, man. I think he's such a not even just as a player, he's just he seems like a genuine down to earth,
good captain as well,
person,
and very young to be a captain.
Moyes is just it's actually quite like. Obviously, he went from Everton as what he was at Everton. He was a class manager at Everton for seasons upon seasons, and then obviously went to United. Things didn't. Obviously, he didn't like looking back. He didn't do badly. He didn't do badly at all. But then obviously he's gone back. Where did he go after that? Didn't he go to Sunderland?
He went to Sunderland, then Sociedad.
Yeah, and now he's back in Premier League, and he's literally took fucking West Ham into the top 4. Well,
I think the difference is
West Ham were down there last season.
West Ham were touted to be going down this season by a lot.
I'll use the same comparison again. At the end of last season, if you would have said West Ham were level on points with 4th place Chelsea, you'd have laughed. What Dean Smith and Moyes have done with those clubs I think a manager like Klopp in such a short space of time wouldn't be able to do that with a team like that.
No, definitely not.
It's a specific managerial nous that you need in order to be able to do that with a club of that sort of stature, like a very average team in the Prem, to be able to take them to like Villa beat what was it against Liverpool 7-2.
7-2.
Yeah.
And also expectations. Like you think about West Ham and Villa, when Dean Smith and Moyes, who okay, all right, for Moyes, he's proved himself in terms of reputation, but for Dean Smith, quite a small manager, like he's managed at Walsall, Brentford. And to go to a massive club in England and do what he's doing with a high expectation, because you think, and as much as I talk about the Villa fans, they get the bed sheets out as soon as you go on a bad run of form. So to have that pressure and still perform, Simon Moyes, like the West Ham fans wanted Moyes out.
Yeah, West Ham fans. I would say the West Ham fans are probably worse. I think a lot of that stems from their owners. They don't like their ownership and all that sort of.
I've experienced those owners as well.
I mean, having to play in a stadium like that, I wouldn't want to support that club anymore.
Yeah,
the stadium alone just makes me feel sick.
Ridiculous, man. You can't even see. Do you want to do your number 2s? Because I've gone through.
Yeah. My number 2 is Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah, me. I feel like you've got him first. Then
I have got him first, and so you two got Pep first.
I've got Pep.
I feel like it's quite like me and Jamie have the same reason for him being first. The fact that he's can be 10 points clear if they win their game in hand already.
This is going to sound absolutely ridiculous for me to say why he's not top for me. I get he's won 15 games in a row, but to have not the lack of resources, but the quite like severely less resources than your Spurs, your Arsenal's, your Chelsea's, and they trounced Liverpool in the last 20 minutes the other day. Yeah. They genuinely look like a.
I feel like Vardy will be one of the best strikers in the world until he's about 45. The rate he's going, he's just not stopping.
And again, since Rodgers has come in, Vardy's the top scorer in the Prem.
Yeah,
in those years, he has scored more goals than anyone.
I also saw this isn't to do with this season, but I saw
is it the top 6
stat?
clubs?
It was the top players to score against top 6 clubs.
He's got 37 goals against top 6 clubs. That is unbelievable.
You two know how much I love Harvey Barnes and how much I rate him as a player. Brendan Rodgers has got the best out of Harvey Barnes.
He got their third
in front
goal
of goal. He is prolific.
Yeah.
I said to my dad as that goal went in, because every time I watch United with my dad, we always talk about how frustrating Rashford is. I know Dan feels the same about how well he is, about how well he does when he's on the ball. He can take it past 5 players of ease, but when he gets in front of goal, he just sort of can't.
His
He just
technique just seems to
doesn't
go out
have
the window when he gets in front of goal.
Yeah, he just can't finish.
He tries too hard to just lever the ball into the back of the net, and it just doesn't. That doesn't work all the time. Sometimes you need more like composure and technique on the ball, and that's what Harvey Barnes has had this season.
Yeah, exactly. I said to my dad, I was like, that's literally what Rashford needs to bring to his game. What Harvey Barnes has got. Like if Harvey Barnes was playing for United, he'd be better than Rashford. But I feel like it's because he's playing for Leicester that he sort of gets overlooked.
And I have to apologise to Jamie because Jamie called it months and months
a long
ago.
time ago.
Yeah,
but
it's like mine. It probably was due to a bit of bias back then because obviously, I mean, we only had him for half a season at West Brom, but he's probably the most exciting player I've seen.
But in a championship, half a season is still 20 odd games.
Yeah,
you can watch 20 games of a player and know how good they are.
It's like I remember. I know he's not the greatest example, but when Cov were, I think it was their last season in the Championship, we had McGoldrick on loan from Ipswich, and you could just tell he was way too good for that level.
Yeah.
And now he's obviously playing in the Prem. Like you wouldn't have thought necessarily he would be playing at that level, but when you watch him, you can watch him play for one game and just tell how good they are on the ball.
I mean, we've had loans on loans. So we had Jeremy Boga, who's now in the Syria, in top half Syria, banging goals in. We had Jordan Ibe, who was at Liverpool at the time, knew he was a good player and then dropped off. Ravel Morrison on loan. Who else? Andros Townsend we had as a kid.
It's
Michael Carrick we had as a kid.
It's the same with Cov. When James Maddison was coming through, like when he was probably 18, 19 at the time when he broke through into the first team. You could just tell. Like you watch a player, their technique is free kicks. The way he just walked about the pitch, you could tell he was going to be. That's a
good little diversion back to Leicester because I'll say it week in week out. James Maddison's my favourite player outside Blues. I love him. He's brilliant, and
he's got to be in the England squad.
I hate to be that guy, but I really like his interviews as well because they pretty much BT get him on every week now after a Leicester game because he gives an honest assessment. He came out and said, "Oh, Alisson's made a few mistakes recently," and no player's going to say that.
Yeah, exactly. He's one of the most because there's been so many examples like you mentioned Ravel Morrison coming through as a young English player playing at the top level. There's so many examples of players that the pressure and the fame has just completely gone over their head and it's just ruined their careers, so to say. But Maddison's come out. He's 20? I think he's 22, and he's one of the most humble footballers I've ever watched give an interview. And at that age, to be playing for a club like Leicester, coming from Cov, it's a credit to him.
And I'll still stand by. I mean, we could probably do our England team when we get close to the Euros, but my 3 behind Kane is Foden, Grealish, Maddison.
In the system with the 3 attacking midfielders, I think that's more effective than the 3 wingers because Rashford,
especially in international football, that you have to play short, quick tempo football in international football, and those 3.
If he does decide to play with wingers, though, I think you've got to have Harvey Barnes playing. You have to.
It's Barnes and Sterling, or do you go Barnes and Grealish?
I'd go Barnes and Grealish because it's if you're looking off this season alone, which is what the England squad should be picked on, it should be form coming into whatever the competition is. If that's the case, it has to be Harvey Barnes. He's been one of the best wingers in the entire league. Never mind just English wingers. He's been one of the best wingers, if not the best. I can't think of other than maybe Son. I can't think of another winger that's been at the minute right now.
At the minute right now,
it's Harvey
Barnes.
Yeah. Because Son's not in a great run of form either. I genuinely think at the moment he's the best winger in the league.
Yeah.
Just
the thing is that's frustrated me for years of England is you don't get picked on current form. There's no way if Southgate wanted to play Grealish as a winger, there's no way he takes Grealish and Barnes and doesn't and then leaves out Rashford. There's no way that happens just because of who Rashford is. It just wouldn't. Rashford could literally score 1 goal all season in a Carabao Cup game against Rotherham and would then still get picked because he's Rashford and because he plays for Man United.
I think as well, one person that would have been a shoe-in for me was James Justin until he picked up his injury.
When's that
shame, man?
He's cruciate ligaments.
They said he's done pretty much for the season. So because he can play either side as well. I think he would have been really useful, and he's aggressive.
I said this last week or the week before when we were talking about England squad. I'd have him start him. On current form, I'd say he's the best fullback in the league. That Leicester squad,
he's brilliant
at the minute. On current form as it stands, Vardy's the best striker, Barnes is the best winger, James Justin's the best fullback. Fofana was the best centre back before he picked up that injury,
and before Diaz
and before Diaz came. Yeah.
And Ndidi as well.
And Ndidi.
Ndidi
Ndidi's the best at what he does in the league.
Yeah, he's incredible.
And Tielemans.
Yeah.
Tielemans should not be playing for Leicester in terms of club
But you
size.
say that, but
I know what you mean in terms of team. But in terms of club
size,
size, you think, why is he playing there? Because
you remember when he came, was it Monaco? When he came through, and he was being linked with every single team in the world, and he decided to go to Leicester. And everyone was like, what are you doing? And now it shows that Brendan Rodgers actually wants to, so obviously this is about managers, Brendan Rodgers wants to bring in players like that to transform Leicester into the team that can challenge for the league every year, not just a team that will win it once and then never again for another 40, 50 years.
I mean, let's talk about Pep, because you two have got him first. And I wanted to bring it up from Foden, because one of the biggest examples of how good a manager he is turning a 20-year-old kid into one of the best.
That's you have to credit him, because all of the money he's got, all of the signings he could possibly make, they were literally linked with Messi about 6 months ago, and he's decided that he's going to nurture. How old is he? 21, 20?
He's 20.
20. He's going to nurture him and turn him into one of the best attacking midfielders / wingers in the league at the minute, rather than signing literally whoever he wants to sign. It's a credit to him and how good he actually is as a manager, that he can do that rather than just. I know he spent so much money on his defence and his fullbacks, but to be able to do that, bring in academy players still, when you've got that money at your disposal, it shows that he's still got it.
I think you were saying before, Dan, hasn't Guardiola said before that other than Messi, Foden is probably the best player he's ever.
He said for his age group, he is the best player he's ever managed. I think he said under 22, he's never managed a player like him. And I mean, you only have to look at, some of his first touches, some of his close control.
He's
I don't know if you remember that one against England where he was on the throwing line.
Oh,
and he's flicked it around the player on the volley.
And the goal against Liverpool, the close control, it reminded me a lot of.
He reminds me of Messi. As much as that's a very, very outlandish comparison, he reminds me of Messi.
When he came in from the right, it reminded me so much of prime Mahrez.
I'm sure I saw something saying that someone said that he's like Messi, but with a. I don't know if they said right foot, but I swear he's left-footed.
He's left-footed, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I can't remember what the quote was.
Emi Martinez said Grealish was a right-footed Messi.
Oh, that was it. That was what I'm thinking of.
But that got taken so out of context. So Emi Martinez said he trains with both, and watching Grealish against the Villa players is like watching Messi against the Argentina players. But Messi's in a world of his own.
Yeah.
So,
that must have been the quote I was thinking of. Yeah.
I think Foden, give it. 2 years minimum. I think he'll be the best player in England. Probably.
Yeah.
I think he'll be putting up numbers he's already he got like 9 goals, 6 assists or something at 20.
But it's like when David Silva announced that he was going to leave, I think not even just City fans, but everyone was kind of wondering who are they going to get to replace him, because obviously they need someone to replace him. Of course, yeah, but did anybody think he was ready for that sort of pressure of trying to replace not one of the best player in their club's history? It's like, and he came in, he looks like the absolute perfect replacement to him.
Yeah,
he does remind me a lot of David Silva, to be honest.
He does. I think he's a lot more selfish. So in his own
he's more clinical
in his own right, though.
100%.
I think what David Silva missed, and I think everyone says this, is that killer instinct. Whereas it's credit to him that he wanted to play the final ball, but Foden, just as soon as he's got an eye for goal, you put your house on him scoring.
Foden's just got that. I don't know. It's like a sharpness that sort of separates him from the type of player that Silva is. Like on the ball, you can see he wants to drive at players, he wants to make darting runs, but Silva would always look up for that pass. It's like Foden and Silva are sort of what De Bruyne are. If you put Foden and Silva together, they are De Bruyne.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Yeah, true.
that's ridiculous to say.
Yeah.
You put two of the best players Man City have had in the last 10 years together, you make one player.
Not even just the last 10 in their whole entire history of the club. Don't forget, Man City, before they got took over, they were just a bottom half of the table Premier League club. And then they got taken over, obviously bought all these good players. And David Silva is the greatest player they've had in their club's history.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
And I was just going to touch on one more thing before we move on. One player that Pep's sort of transformed is Raheem Sterling, I think.
Really?
I think Sterling was at a level where he was good, but he was never going to be great. Pep came in, and look, you only have to look at the numbers. Since Pep, it's absolutely
it is true
for a winger.
I think he still could be. He still could be achieving more than he's achieving.
Oh, definitely. I think
he's forget how young he is, though. He's been
still
around
only
so
24,
long.
isn't
he? Yeah.
He's 24, 25? I think he's 25.
I mean, he was in the Young Player of the Season nominations last season, so he would have been under 24.
I think he's...
Yeah, he's crazy.
I think he'll be... he should be an England mainstay, really. I mean, whether he starts or even in the squad, he's been transformed. I think his final ball, as much as it's still not great, at Liverpool, it was pretty dire.
He's just the thing that annoys me the most about Sterling is in front of goal. He just when Sterling's in a one-on-one, there's more chance he's going to miss than he is going to score.
He's very similar to Salah, but he just can't finish.
Yeah, he gets into the right positions all the time, but that's what I'm saying. In terms of he's always in the right position and the amount of chances he has in front of goal. He should be like knocking up more numbers than he already is because of the chances that he misses. He misses so many big chances. It's unbelievable. Sometimes where he could just hit it with his left foot and he tries to outside of the foot poke it with his right and things like that. It's just that's why at the moment Harvey Barnes is in a different category to him because Harvey Barnes in front of goal. If I had the choice of Harvey Barnes one-on-one and Raheem Sterling one-on-one, and I have to pick one to save my life to score, I'd pick Harvey Barnes.
I mean, you look at the Liverpool game. I know it was in quotation marks an easy finish, but you're against one of the biggest and best goalkeepers in the world, especially at coming off his line at pace. And Harvey Barnes looked composed as anything.
Yeah, he just literally curled.
He looked like he'd been doing that on a regular basis for 6 or 7 years. Yeah, the way he goes for on goal. Cultured.
And I think on that note, so I feel like it's only going to be a little minimal personal review. I'll go first because I've got literally a couple of sentences maximum. We've got Millwall tomorrow night. We were shit again on Saturday. We had one shot on target against Luton at home. Dong and Karanka, I'll drive you to the nearest airport. Cheers. That is literally all. That's literally all I have to say. I can't get into anything else.
You can't keep saying the same thing.
Until they're both gone. I can't say anything until we have something light.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said the other day, Dan. West Brom and Blues are in the exact same position, but just
a league apart.
In different leagues.
Yeah, just a ladder apart.
Well, I mean, obviously we played Man U on Sunday. We really didn't play that bad at all.
I thought you deserved to win. Well. On the face of the game, I thought you deserved.
I felt that's the difference between West Brom and Blues at the minute. West Brom are picking up points in games they shouldn't. Blues are just not picking up points.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
It's quite difficult to stay in a league when you don't pick up any points.
Yeah.
It's like my dad said on the weekend. We seem to somehow pick the points up against the big teams, but then when it comes to playing teams around us, we just completely crumble.
That has been the case with us.
I don't know why it is. I don't know what it is that's going towards that, but it's just that's what's ended up being the reason why we are down. We're down. There's no two ways about it. We are down.
I think the thing that annoys me the most. Sorry, go on.
The thing that annoys me the most about the fact that we are down now is that we've brought in a couple of tidy footballers. Like you said, Dan, okay, Yukushlu came in against United and he looked like a tidy player. Not even just on the ball. He looked like he wasn't scared to put a foot in.
I was going to say he did a nice tackle on. I can't remember who it was on, but it was quite a nice tackle.
He broke up their play and then started our play all in one 2 moves, a tackle to a pass and then we were away in midfield, and it's like that is what we have been missing since we lost Yusuf Malumbu. So about 7 seasons
Yusuf
probably.
Malumbu.
Honestly, ask any West Brom fan. We have been missing a defensive midfielder that will just sit in front of the defence, break up the play, and then just pass it off simply. Nothing. Don't try.
That must be hard to
too
come by, Jamie, because we've
stupid.
been missing one for since I was born.
It's just ridiculous. I don't know what. But like I said, we've bought these players in too late, and I said that when we bought them in, it's too late now, and it shows now because they've started to pick up a couple of points, and it's disappointing because we're playing okay, and brings me back to if we bought these players in at the start of January, even at the start, if we bought them in at the start of the season, then I've got no doubt we wouldn't be this far behind. We'd probably still be down there, but
15th, 14th, something like that.
I don't know. I probably would say we'd still be in the bottom 3, maybe where Fulham are, but I think we'd be a lot closer to the teams above us than we are right now, which is annoying because, like I said, Luke Dowling knew exactly what we needed at the start of the season, didn't do it. He knew exactly what we needed at the start of January, didn't do it, left it to the last day, and now look where we are. It's too late. Our season's over.
I mean, you summed it up perfectly.
Well,
to be fair, I think what I was going to say is we're in the same position because, I mean, as much as we haven't picked up points in the last 8 weeks, we still beat Reading away, we beat Bristol City away,
Brentford.
We beat Brentford at home, we held Swansea away. Like we picked up points against the bigger sides, just like you, and then suddenly, I mean, it's a common thing. I know I said I wasn't going to say a lot. This is the last thing I'm going to say. It's a common theme with our managers because we've had 7 managers since we sacked Rowett, which was December 2016. So pretty much, 4 years now, we've had 7 managers. And with the worst ones, which were Zola, Cottrell, and now Karanka, everything that, and Redknapp, everything that's happened with those managers is we've played badly. And then one game separates the pack. So some people start to want the manager out. Some people start, and then this one game, that's it. Then everyone's that person out. So with Zola, we had a Burton at home game in about April. We lost 2-0 at home, and we didn't have a shot. Gone the weekend after. Cottrell, Ollie McBurney was playing for Barnsley at the time. Absolutely packed us. We lost 2-0 at home. Gone. Redknapp, we played Preston at home. We were 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go. We lost 3-1. Gone. And that game, I said to my dad before the game, I genuinely thought that was going to be the game, like the others. Like I thought, if we lose today and put in a poor performance, it'll be the part of the Red Sea basically. Everyone will be a cranker out, and it happened. Yeah. I knew what was going to happen. We didn't turn up. Halilovic was the only positive player again, and that was it. And you saw a flood on Twitter of cranker out. That is it for him. He won't come back. And if the fans were in the ground, he would have been gone.
Yeah, definitely. It would have been gone a couple of games ago if the fans were in the ground. I reckon.
Definitely, it'd be toxic. People would be fighting each other. I can only go back 3 years to Rotherham away, where I turn around and some bloke smashed another one of our fans in the face, and it all kicked off.
Yeah, I mean, you two are. I mean, in terms of where we are in the league, we're all in a very similar sort of position, but it's just the expectations on Cov are a lot less.
Yeah.
In comparison.
I mean, I think Cov is similar to West Brom in a way because you've both gone up with no expectation. No, but you've both got
it's true.
Like Jamie, as much as you can be annoyed, I mean, as much as like maybe you expected this.
Oh, of course I did. You probably about to find clips of me saying that I've got no expectation other than to at least make a fight of relegation, which we haven't done. So
that's the frustrating bit.
It's not like I can be sat here positive about the fact that we've put up a good fight because we haven't.
Like you've been in a bad run of form.
I don't have any positives to say about my club at all. Not one.
Like Charlie, you've been in a bad run of form, but when you put it into, I know it's hard to be like buzzing when you're losing week after week, like both of us are at the moment. But when you put it into perspective, the fact that you're 3 points clear of the bottom 3 still, with a significantly worse team than a lot of teams in the league, I think you just have to sort of take it with a pinch of salt.
Well, I mean, I remember thinking this. I don't know whether I said it, but I knew as soon as we went up, it was going to be a relegation dogfight, especially the first season, because I know we don't have the funds to bring in players that will make a difference in that league that other clubs do. Like you just look at the money that you spent in January 2 million on the striker. That's more than we've spent in about 5 or 7 seasons.
He's playing a combined 16 minutes, by the way, in his first 4 games.
I mean, we're sort of coasting at the minute. It's like we've never really moved from where we are. We've always been we've never been I don't think we've ever been in the bottom 3, but we've always been 5th or 6th from bottom. So we're just sort of, and it is going to come down to probably the last 3 or 4 games, but I feel like we've got a really tough run of fixtures coming up. I'll get them up now quickly. We've got Norwich tomorrow, which is a game that we're not going to win, but we already nicked a point from them earlier in the season.
If you can,
we've got Norwich, Brentford,
season,
Swansea, Blackburn. That's the next 4 games.
If you can stay up this season, though, you can build on that.
Obviously, that's what I'm saying.
But that you can build from there, like build up, like what Blues were trying to do this season,
Barnsley, look at Luton.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's staying up.
If we manage to stay up,
massive.
We'll get the payout. Players will actually want to stay. So if we go down, Hamer is gone. Like
I think you'll
before
probably
the
struggle to keep
finished.
Hamer regardless.
I was surprised that he was even stayed in January.
So good.
But yeah, it's going to be one of those seasons. We're just going to it's going to be Wycombe, Blues, Sheffield Wednesday, Rotherham, Derby, Cov. 3 of those teams.
Forest,
3 of those teams will. Yeah,
maybe Forest will get dragged in again.
Huddersfield.
3 of them will
get dragged in, I think. And
it won't.
Luton will get dragged in. I think it'll be a real 10 games. I think it'll be a real open thing.
It'll be close, but I feel like 3 of the 6 that I mentioned will go down. I know Huddersfield and that will get dragged in, but I think that Rotherham, as much as they've picked up some good results, so did we, and they've picked up some good results, but
even we've had a good run of form this season.
All it takes is in the Championship. All it takes is 3 games to go against you, and then you're straight back down there.
Perfect example is the year Villa came up when they were literally in the bottom half, won 10 games in a row, and then got promoted. Literally anything can happen in that league. We could beat Norwich 4-0 tomorrow, and then lose our next 7 or 8 games. That's very possible.
Yeah.
It's one of them things where you can't predict. You just sort of got to. I'm just going to hope that we can sort of just coast and finish a couple of points outside the relegation zone, stay up, and then build on it from there.
I've got enough Championship experience now to basically have a rule where I basically take our games in 6s. So if we depending on what, so you said win 3 or lose 3, Jamie. For me, if you win 6 or lose 6, that's the difference between you being 18th and you being 5th, pretty much.
Yeah.
So those 6 games, you have to basically take 6 games at a time, and unless you take, I'd say 10 points from those 6 games, you're in trouble. Every 6 games, because someone will leap above you. You look at me and Charlie, you probably get a clip of us from episode 13, 14 of us saying, "Fucking hell, we're both 9 points above Derby and Forest. We're 10 points below Forest now." It's genuinely insane. Millwall, we were above Millwall. I was thinking they're going to chop row it at some point. Millwall, we play Millwall tomorrow night. They're 10 points clear of us.
Yeah, I mean, when we beat them, I'd probably say 2 or 3 weeks ago now, we beat them 2-1, but we dominated the game. No, 3-1, dominated the game. And now we went above them, and now they're also 7 or 8 points clear of us.
Yeah, it's because they beat. They got 2 massive wins. I think they beat Sheffield Wednesday away, then Reading away, and suddenly they've just shot back up.
They drew Forest as well recently, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what Rowett does, though. That's why I'd like what we did with Rowett is we got a young, energetic manager from Burton who were in the depths of League 2. Came to us, transformed us. I just want someone's just going to show a bit of passion, like Nathan Jones.
It's like when
it was all over the place. Correct, was sat sobbing on the bench.
When you finish a game and it's a poor result, and the manager comes out and says, "Yeah, I don't really want to talk to him." What a manager should be doing is going into the dressing room and absolutely nailing.
I've got another classic interview moment to tell you then from the weekend that you'll both love.
Oh God.
Richard Wilford, who's our main correspondent, said, "Do you think you've got to have hope that you'll still stay up?" He went, "Not if we play like that." And then the interview ended.
So what's he going to do to change that?
But for me, if you believe that, I mean, he's earned enough money in his career. He doesn't need the money to get sacked. Just walk. If you don't believe you can't, if you can do anything with that group of players, just walk. What's the point? I don't understand.
The thing is, as much as you are second bottom, Wycombe are already down. Wycombe are finished. But you still have the players to pick you back up and stay up, which is the most frustrating
we're a point
part.
Off.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming out
with
again.
The man who's supposed to be the spearhead, the leader of the dressing room and the club as a whole in Karanka, to come out and say, as a team that's 1 point off coming out of the relegation zone, saying there's no way we stay up. It just shows how little he cares.
It just made me laugh. I genuinely sat there and I was like, you know what's the point of me even getting angry at that? Because I think us three go in as a backroom staff and do a better job.
I'm looking forward to the championship next season, to be fair. I've always loved the championship, as long as you don't get stuck down there.
The thing
that's
is
the worry.
The proper...
Yeah, that's the biggest. It's always the worry is like a team like West Brom are, well, a club like West Brom are. It's always the worry that if you go down, you might end up just getting.
I mean, we talked about this yesterday in the group chat. The exact same thing happened to us. We went down, finished fourth, bang, dropped. As soon as something, it only has to take maybe a change of ownership or bad recruitment, and you're gone. Same with Stoke.
Yeah. I think Stoke are the perfect example because they're what?
Do you remember 15 minutes ago when Dan said he was going to say 2 sentences about Blues?
It's quite difficult.
Minutes later, he was here with steam coming off his head.
The thing is, though, I was going to say one last thing. Coming from League One, and I remember that our last 6 games we played Portsmouth, Rotherham, Ipswich, Sunderland, and then 2 shitters who we beat. But Portsmouth, Rotherham, Sunderland, and Ipswich were the 4 best teams in the league, and we beat them all. And now we've come into the Championship, and we're struggling for points in every single game we play. It just shows how hard it actually is to maintain as a club that sort of, I don't know how to put it, that sort of like ability to stay in the Championship and not get dragged into the sort of the void that Sunderland and Portsmouth and Ipswich have.
The only thing that gives me promise is that obviously everyone knows that West Brom have been called a yo-yo club for years now. We've always been the sort of club that goes down for 2-3 seasons and then comes back up eventually. I don't think it's in our, I just don't think it's in our DNA to get dragged into that sort of. But obviously, that's
especially
me
not for the
speaking
next.
from
I'd say 6 or 7 years.
That's you speaking from a club perspective, I think.
And it's me speaking from experience of
like you have an experience
years of watching West Brom. I've always known us as a yo-yo club that goes down, comes up. Obviously, the last 10, 11 seasons we've been a Premier League club. But I just think we're too much of a sensible club to be able to get dragged into something like that. I don't know why I think that.
I get what you mean.
I might be completely deluded to think that, and it might come back and properly bite me in the arse. But
I mean, what you've got to think,
I've got
though,
a bit
Jamie,
of promise about it.
Is I think a lot of Villa fans thought the same. Finished 14th in the Championship in their first season.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But then it took them the season after that to get back up.
Yeah, I just think it's how you deal with things. Like your owners have clearly let you down, but what they have done is built you a stable model as a club.
But that's what I mean. I think as a club, I think we are too big to be in the Championship, and I don't think that's me saying that as a bias.
I think you're
like
bigger
a
than
bias
most of the clubs
perspective
in the Championship. But I said that about us.
100%.
I mean, it can literally happen to anyone. I think I was going through all the Championship teams yesterday. I think we're bigger than about 15, 16 of them pretty comfortably.
My point is, though, that we are too big for the Championship. So if we are in the Championship, players from abroad might look at us as their way to get into the Premier League. Players that might not be good enough to go straight into the Premier League, but are probably good enough, just need a breakout to get into it. They might look at West Brom as the sort of team to do that, like Pereira.
I was literally about to say.
He probably could have gone to a Premier League team from Sporting straight away, and he would have probably looked comfortable doing that. But obviously, no teams probably wanted to take that risk on him. But obviously, in the Championship, you can afford to try and take that risk, and I think we will do that till we get back up.
I mean, before we conclude, sorry, Charles, go on.
When you have players like you did last season in the Championship, like Livermore, players like that, who are players that you would never associate playing anywhere less than a top 7 or 8 Championship team. When you've got players of that sort of like experience and just general footballing know-how, you just know that you've got a stable sort of core to your team that will stop anything like that from happening. But like teams like Sunderland, when they went down to the Championship, they lost a lot of their players.
And
as did Portsmouth, as did Ipswich when they went down from the Championship to League One, and they've just fallen apart. But you've managed to keep that sort of core group together. And as much as this is like Football Manager, like you'll have a main core group of players that are like integral to the dressing room. I think that's very true for like the situation that you're in.
You know, I think all our football
Group.
managers come on leaps and bounds since we've all started playing Football Manager regularly.
It's like you look at Watford now. You look at their squad in the Championship, and it's very similar to what we had, is in terms of players that have got the experience to be able to get them back out of it. Like,
but I think even
players
they
like Ben
struggled.
Foster, Tom Cleverley, even Chalobah. He's a good player for the Championship.
I think they've struggled.
Will Hughes.
They have.
I think whatever happens when you come down, it's going to be a real. I don't think you'll fly like you did last time. I know you struggled past January, but I don't think you'll fly through the league. I don't think we will either. Competitive next year.
We remember the first season we were down with Darren Moore. We didn't fly.
Yeah.
We
struggled.
finished fourth. We didn't fly, but that's probably what it will be.
I mean, you're lucky, really, if we go down, because we usually take points off you. Only 2.
Remember that 4-3 last season?
We usually draw. We usually draw. It's West Brom Blues. We finished 0-0 in the first game of lockdown. We drew.
Last season, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I remember I watched that. It was the most boring game of football.
It was absolutely terrible. Everyone looked knackered at 50.
The first game was very, very entertaining.
It was good, yeah. I mean, to be fair, we usually have good games.
Yeah, we do.
A lot.
Really
I don't think you've trounced us for a good few years.
No.
I think you used to trounce us when we were in the Prem with you. Like,
you always seem to score first, and then we end up just like
that happens
somehow bringing it back.
What I was going to say to conclude the little roundup is, and this is probably a difficult opinion to take for a lot of people that don't watch below the Prem, but I think the step from League One to the Championship is way more difficult.
Yeah, 100%.
Championship.
Yeah.
Until you've experienced it, there is no like. As much as I was like, Cov got relegated from the Prem when the year I was born, but to come up from League One to the Championship, there's nothing like it. It's been proved by clubs that have come up. Like when Burton came up that season, Burton won the league very, very comfortably. They looked like one of the. They played pretty poor football in League One, but they won. I think they probably won like 90% of their games and won the league comfortably. They come up and they got relegated with like 9 games to go, 8 games to go or something, didn't they?
Yeah, they were terrible as well. Like really, like one of the worst teams I've seen. Sorry if any Burton fans are watching, I'm just slagging them off.
They probably know terrible, it's true. I swear they're in the bottom 3 in League One.
They're bottom, aren't they? I know Jimmy Ford Hasselbank's taken over. But what I was going to say is, as much as when we got relegated from the Prem, obviously I was upset and whatever. I didn't really know how much it was going to affect. I was only 10, so I didn't really know the levels. But I'm genuinely scared of what could happen to us if we go down this season.
If I were you, I actually would be.
Like in the summer, I'm going to be watching England at the Euros thinking, fucking hell, I should be cherishing this more than I am.
Like you think, I mean, I've said these clubs' names so many times now, but Ipswich, Portsmouth, Sunderland, you could so easily do that. Sunderland have been in League One for 4 years now, and everyone expected them to completely piss the league when they went down the first season. And they've just been shit. Again,
me and you both watched the documentary, Charles. Jamie, I don't know whether you've watched.
No, I've not seen it. No.
So if you see the second season, when I was saying to you two yesterday about clever recruitment, if we go to the real depths of Europe and say go for your Le Havres or your Sochaux, who have got good academies but haven't got the finances to keep those talented footballers, Sunderland bottled it and bid 3 million for Will Greig. It's just
they signed Johnny Williams as well. Like players like that,
that's what I mean.
They're just not players that will drag you out of the league.
You either go for a lot of. That's what Ipswich did though. They had Paul Lambert as manager, and he thought the only way to get out was to try and sign experienced League One players. Yeah. I think going for talented young raw players, and like you said about our academy, Jamie, we're going to have players that want to win. They're going to want to play.
We bought in Hamer this season from Holland, and to take a risk on a European player like that and it to pay off is massive.
And like you say, it's a risk, but it's a very low risk if you sign them for 300, 400k.
Realistically,
what did you get Hamer for free?
$1 million.
Exactly. I mean, it's hard.
Realistically, you've got to look at it like the risk is you buy these players for minimal fees,
and they're going to be on
case scenario.
3 or 4K.
Worst case scenario,
Yeah.
they're going to be average League One players. So
Exactly.
even still, they're not going to be like bottom of the barrel League One standard. They're just going to be like average League One players. So it's not a massive risk.
If you're playing in Spain, my minimum expectation is you're going to have decent technical ability. Like,
exactly.
I think the only player I've seen come from Spain that was poor on the ball was Jimenez, but he's genuinely one of the worst footballers I've ever seen. But like Villalba, Sanchez, I don't know who else we signed from Spain, but Villalba and Sanchez on their own cost us a combined nothing, and they're two of the most talented footballers I've seen play for us in years. I mean, it's a shame we got rid of Villalba, really. And Bella came from Spain. Bella came from. Do either of you know who Albacete are? Because I didn't before we signed him. And he's like you said, you both watched the Man City game. He was our best player against Man City.
Yeah, he's the best player on the pitch when we played you both times as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Arguably.
Like signing these players, as much as a lot of our fans are going to say, "Oh, we need to spend this much on this person, this much on this person," I'd much rather us go for the Brentford model, because it is the Brentford model. Really,
it works. It's proven to work.
And using our academy, like Odin Bailey's going to come back, and at least we might actually watch him play. We've got a lad called Amari Miller, who looks like a world beater. Just play him. Same. We signed Keandra Simmons from Man City, winger. Keandra Simmons, we signed from Man City in January. He scored goals at all of Man City's youth levels. Can't get my words out. I'd put him in over Jukovic for the rest of the season. What's the point of playing Jukovic genuinely?
You've played you're this deep into the season, and it's proven that Jukovic will not score goals for the club.
I said to you, I will eat my Christmas tree if he scores in the next 3 games, because I was that confident he wouldn't score.
How have we spoke about Blues for this long?
Sorry.
Let's move on to the game.
Let's get on to the game. I mean, the problem is, Jamie, for some reason this season, we've always got something to talk about with Blues, because we're not, like, as much as I'd rather us be boring than 12th, so we didn't have to talk about us, but we do. And
let's start now.
I'll go first on my quiz, because I thought this is more of a test for you two, really.
Oh God.
So what I'm going to do is I'll give you 2 lies each. I should really have I always struggle to find a piece of paper, but just count your lies.
It's never a piece of paper, is it?
It's never a piece of paper. No, I haven't got anything.
Come on.
And you've got a computer that has Word on it next to you. Get over.
I'll be all right. We've become quite addicted to Football Manager.
No,
I think it's fair to say, all 3 of us. Jamie, have you been itching to play Football Manager?
I literally said yesterday in the chat.
I'm actually
can we play Football Manager?
We're all
sat there like this.
So I thought, why not test your knowledge on the game?
Man.
This is, can you name every Football Manager player role? So when you click left mid and you have all the roles. So he won't watch this, but Zealand did this quiz, a very popular Football Manager YouTuber. And he is a god at the game. Not a god, but like he knows everything about the game, and he smashed this. And I tried to do it after that video. I mean, obviously I did it before I saw all the roles, and I struggled.
This is gonna stink. This is gonna be disgusting.
This is going to be an absolute hoona, man.
So we've got. I'll tell you all the positions: goalkeeper, fullback, sweeper, centre back, wing back, defensive midfielder, centre midfielder, left mid, right mid, attacking mid on the right, and attacking mid on the left, and striker. There are 55 roles.
I don't like this.
Right, who's going first now?
I'll let you go first, Jamie. But it's just going to be a back and forth. Obviously,
I'm going to kick it off with wide target man.
Okay, can you name a player that's played in that?
Mario Mandzukic.
Correct.
Sweeper keeper.
Yeah.
Central defender.
Yeah.
Ball playing defender.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
No nonsense centre back.
Yeah. They've got it as defensive centre back on here, but it is a no nonsense.
No nonsense fullback.
Yeah.
Wing back.
Yeah.
Complete wing back.
Yeah.
Oh. Isn't there an? I'm sure there's an inverted wing back. I'm pretty sure you said before that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ball winning midfielder.
Yep.
Half back.
Yep.
That's a good
one.
The thing is, I've never experimented with my centre back, so I don't know any of these.
No, that's a midfielder,
defensive
isn't it?
midfielder, yeah.
Defensive
Half back.
So he's basically like he sits in between the two centre backs.
I
Jesus
might play
Christ.
Suchek as that on my little Southampton.
Centre midfielder.
Yep.
Mazzala.
Yep.
Was it Trequartista?
Trequartista. Love it.
Oh my lord. I'm sure there's one that begins with an R in the midfields as well, but I'm not 100% sure.
There is, but I'll just go for some of the easier ones.
Yeah,
first.
I'm gonna go for deep line playmaker.
Yeah.
Ball winning midfielder.
You've already said that.
You already said that.
Did I? Oh.
Yeah. I won't take a life off
box to box midfielder.
Yeah. You're doing quite well.
Did Charlie say central midfielder? He did, didn't he?
Yeah,
he did.
Roman playmaker.
Yeah, good one. That's the one I forgot when I did it the first time. I forgot about a Roman playmaker.
You got all of them apart from one.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
But you've got. I have played the game for an extended period of time.
True.
But I've experimented enough.
Winger.
Yep.
Inverted winger.
Yep.
Attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
Inside forward.
You know what I was gonna say? There's one that you both haven't got that you both play regularly.
I'm just trying to go. I
was trying to save that. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Charles.
Deep line forward.
Yeah.
What other wingers one are there? Advanced playmaker.
Yeah.
Advanced forward.
Yeah.
Complete forward.
Yeah.
The second striker.
I'll give you shadow striker. Yeah, I'll give you it.
Target man.
Yeah.
So this is where
I think this is where I think you've got quite a few, but I think this is where it's going to get nasty.
Yeah,
there's one that begins with a C in midfield. I don't know it. Defensive winger.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Defensive winger, right middle, left mid, defensive winger. Well done.
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Isn't wide playmaker one?
Wide playmaker is one.
Yeah.
WAP.
Where's the eye?
Wide ass playmaker.
He's all white. Oh man.
I've said sweeper keeper, so can I have just regular keeper?
You can have just regular. I was gonna say neither of you have had regular keeper.
It's like Ash Ketchum. I've like, when Ash Ketchum flips his cap around, I put my hood up. Target pressing forward.
Yeah. You've surprised me at this, Jamie. You've got quite a few of the niche ones.
Can I have a regular striker?
I don't know what happened.
A regular striker is not one.
So that's a life, surely.
Yeah.
That is. I'll have to take a life off you for that.
I don't know anymore. I don't think.
Jamie. Shall I tell you?
What,
shall I tell you the
Go
positions you're missing? You've got 2 from sweeper that you're missing.
I've never played a sweeper.
I'm lagging. By the way, I'm lagging really bad. So if I disconnect, that's why.
Then I win.
It's a 3-0 win to Charlie. So you've got 2 from sweeper. 4 from defensive midfielder.
You said has complete forward been said?
Yeah. Go on, you got to throw a name out.
Oh, hello. Go on.
Hello, yeah. We can hear you.
Has complete forward been said?
Yeah, it has been said. I'll give you an extra 5 seconds because you were lagging. Go on, just throw a name out.
Record Tista or whatever it is.
It's already been said. Right, so you're both on your last life.
I don't think I know anymore.
Do you not know anymore?
Wait, I'm trying to think.
I'll leave it as a. Should we just do next roll wins? Because I feel like you've both got absolutely no chance of the rest of them.
I think I've got one.
Go on.
Is it my go?
If you say it,
Isn't-
if you say, I'll have to
isn't-
think of another one.
Isn't wide midfielder one? Just straight up wide midfielder.
It is one. So,
It is.
Charlie, would you have got any more?
Is there another? I know the there's one beginning with a C, centre midfielder, but I just don't know it.
Yeah.
I think. I think.
It's
I'm
got
pretty sure
double
that
S in
I'm
it,
thinking
hasn't
of.
it?
I'm thinking of the play
No,
style. Kataniki.
Yeah, you're thinking of
That's it,
Catenaccio. That's a type of
That's a
formation.
play style. Yeah.
Both not know anymore because I think I could. I think it'll be one of them where you go, oh yeah, for a few of them.
Yeah, probably.
So
I can't think of any more.
Jamie, you done?
Yeah, I can't. I
So,
won. So
There were two for sweeper. One was sweeper. The other one was libero.
oh,
For defensive midfielder, you missed Anchorman,
I don't play with a defensive midfielder.
sorry.
Regista.
Oh,
One you missed for both, Roman playmaker.
I said that.
Yeah,
Did you say?
James.
Oh yeah, you did. Sorry. And then Segundo Volante was another one you missed.
Sound like a Spanish forward.
Charlie, the
I
one
remember I asked
the
the
one
other
I
day
think
what-
you were thinking of was Carolero. I don't know how.
Yeah,
you
I think
pronounce it.
that's
the
the
one you were thinking of from centre mid. And then you missed Enjonch, which is a type of attacking midfielder.
This is too far now.
Jamie, the one you were thinking of was Ramdeuter, the winger.
That sounds like a Pokemon.
I think it sounds like a German footballer.
Yeah, that's good.
And then for strikers, you missed Poacher and False Nine.
Poacher.
But I think you did quite well.
Yeah.
Oh, you surprised me. I think you did. I think you've made a good account of yourselves.
Shall I go next, Charles?
I've got mine up. I don't mind.
I've also got mine up, so it's up to you.
Yeah, you go next. You already said what yours is, but I don't really know.
Yeah,
how confident I am with it.
So mine is: can you name the highest scoring Premier League player for each Premier League club? So not like like overall for the club in each season. So the highest scoring player in a Premier League season for each club.
So does that mean we could have, for Spurs, we could have Kane and another striker before Kane's time who was Tottenham's?
No. It's whoever scored
So,
the most
yeah, I
amount of
get you.
goals in
I
one
get you.
season for them.
So, like,
Oh, okay.
if you were to say for Chelsea, you could only have Drogba. I don't know whether Drogba's right, but he's the only striker that's scored the most goals in a single season.
It's not
Okay.
just striker though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, obviously not.
It's just the
whoever
highest
scored the most
scoring
goals.
player. Yeah, so whoever scored
But
the
it's
most
any
goals.
team that's ever been in the Prem.
Are we going to get 2 lives each year? I feel like this is quite tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. There's a lot of teams. I think it's every team that's ever played in the Premier League.
I wouldn't say
think-
lives, but there's only 2 of us, so this could go down the pan really quickly.
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna go with Charlie. You can go first because he went last on your go down.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I'm going to go with Kane then.
Yeah,
I'm going to go Mo Salah.
yeah.
See, this is where I'm stuck now.
What? You're stuck
Sorry?
after 2 teams?
Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Hold on. Thierry Henry is on there, but there's also another Arsenal player that equaled it as well. So I'm gonna, if one of you want to say him as well,
Oh, wow.
I'll give you that as well.
Cristiano
Who did you say
Ronaldo.
then? Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah.
Oh, I think I've got one more. Is it current
Really?
Premier League teams or is it all of them?
No,
Ever?
it's Premier League ever.
Oh, Aguero.
Yeah.
Right. I'm trying to think of. Oh, I've said Salah. So for Arsenal, then I'd probably go Robin van
Oh my
Persie.
God. Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously. Literally just came to my head. I don't know who Covs is.
I think I know who Blues is. I think
Blues is.
Blues is. Oh, it
Who
might
the
not be him.
who's
If it's not him,
Cov?
he's a fraud.
Kevin Phillips.
That's a good shout, man.
Who was that for?
I'd say Sunderland. He won the
Sunderland.
Golden Boot for Sunderland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great shout, man.
Could have been.
So
for
I'm going to
couple
go
of
for a
teams,
bit of
but-
a different one here. I'm going to go for Michu.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lorente exists. So.
I
Shearer.
thought it was either him or Bonnie. Oh,
Shearer.
shit.
I've seen his name already, but I'm just going
I
to check. But
mean, isn't he Blackburn and Newcastle?
he's
Probably.
Blackburn's, not Newcastle's.
Not Newcastle's. Freaking
No.
heck, my slime.
Who's the
think I
guy
know
that?
who it is.
Who's the guy that? Is it Munoz that played in goal, like the film?
Santiago Munoz.
Santiago Munoz.
For who?
He's got to be
Oh, for
Newcastle's highest ever
Newcastle.
scorer.
No. What are you? Get on with it, you fool. There's so many here.
Have we done Chelsea's yet?
No.
Drogba?
Did you say yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you. Newcastle's? I should probably try and do Blues as well at some point.
Is it Kevin Keegan?
For who? Newcastle? No.
He didn't play in the
No.
Premier.
Did he not?
Am I taking a laugh for that? Because he.
I think you're gonna have to take a laugh off him there.
Yeah,
It's up to
Charlie.
you.
I'm sorry. That's a laugh. Sorry, bro.
For Villa, I don't. This isn't my answer, but I think it's Benteke. But I'm not going to go with Benteke. But I do.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep that on my side.
In your locker.
Charlie might nick it.
Yeah, you might choose Charlie, and you've just lost. I'm going to go Christian Benteke.
Yeah.
Bollocks. This is where I think I'm done.
I think I've got Bluesies, but I'm not going to say it yet because I'm worried.
Do you not have any idea of Covs, Charlie?
Dion Dublin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. I'm trying to think of like lower down
Think
players.
of just think of the low down teams that have like.
Yeah, that's what I'm
maybe
trying
been
to
in the Premier
think.
League
A lot. I
couple
was
of
thinking
times,
about Derby, your Fulhams, even West Ham. Really haven't had incredibly.
I think I might know West Ham's.
West Brom's as well, man.
West Brom's.
What, is it obvious?
Maybe don't think of West. No,
Oh,
probably don't think
Lukaku?
of, yeah.
Shit. Is
he
he
Everton's
just
as
West
well?
Brom's?
Yeah, he's the only one that West Brom have got.
Is he Everton's
17
as well?
goals. I mean, if somebody wants to.
I swear he won the Golden Boot.
Yeah, I've got Everton's.
You thinking of Tim Cahill?
Wait, hold on. I'm a bit confused now. Because I don't know what to.
Is Lukaku Everton's?
Yeah, but obviously, if you've said him once, I suppose you don't have to say what team it was for, do you?
Oh,
So I suppose he just knocks
someone
off
else for
both.
Everton. Doesn't matter. I was going to say Duncan Ferguson, but
He is Everton, so
oh,
he
sweet.
just knocks off two different teams.
Yeah. Fuck.
I've got a really rogue shout actually.
I think I'm finished. I'm trying to think of the shit
Proper
teams.
think about it.
Portsmouth, Carnu.
I keep crashing. Who did you say?
Carnu for Portsmouth.
I think isn't Portsmouth? Is it Yakuba?
Yeah,
Oh shit!
it's over.
Who would have you said
So,
next?
so some of the other ones.
Yeah.
So I was going to go for Blues. I either had it between, and it's one of the rogue ones, but I had it between Mikel Forsell or Cameron Jerome.
Mikel Forsell.
Yeah, I thought it'd be Forsell. How many did he get? Is it so?
17.
That's not bad actually.
Same as Lukaku. So you've got DJ Campbell for Blackpool.
Oh, what a player!
You've got Kevin Davis for Bolton.
That's a good
Josh King for Bournemouth.
one. I thought it'd be
Glenn
Wilson.
Murray.
I would have said
Brighton,
Wilson.
Glenn Murray.
Chris Wood, Burnley. Darren Bent, Charlton.
Who was Derby's? Because I was thinking of Derby.
Derby's was Paolo Wancho.
Oh, Paolo Wancho.
I don't know who that is,
Wancho.
You've got Darren Bent, Charlton. Andy Johnson, Crystal Palace.
I wouldn't have got
Clint Dempsey, Fulham.
I was thinking
Steve
of that.
Mooney, Huddersfield.
Oh yeah.
Mark Viduka, Leeds. Jamie Vardy, Leicester. No one said Vardy.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's stupid from us. I'm saying it's stupid. I think I did all right. Who was Newcastle's?
Andy Cole.
Oh
Andy
yeah.
Cole.
34
Who was West Ham's?
goals.
Oh my god. Yeah. Who was West Ham's?
West Ham's was
I would
Paulo
have
Di
said
Canio.
Tevez.
Ah, Di Canio.
No
I
one
was
said
gonna go-
Jimenez either.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
I-
that's
I was-
embarrassing.
that is embarrassing for you. I was going to go for Cardiff, Jamie. Craig Bellamy.
Cardiff. Jordan Much.
Jordan Much.
7 goals.
What, that
Oh
one season
my
where they finished
God.
bottom?
Must have been.
Jordan
Right.
Much.
Let's get on to mine.
Sorry, can I just say Jordan Much was a Blues flop? By the way.
Right. Mine
Check that
is, can you name every Premier League player that played in the 2018 World Cup? So at the time of the World Cup, they were playing in the Prem. So it was the year that Huddersfield were in the Prem. That year. So I'm going to go Jamie first.
Davinson Sanchez.
Yeah. Why have you on Colombia first?
Harold Kane.
Yeah. You froze. He froze.
That's a win.
I thought
That's
he
a
was just
3-0
staring
win.
at
I thought he was just staring into my soul. I don't know whether everyone could see this.
I've
Oh,
crashed.
Oh, he's back.
oh, he's back. You're back.
Had to put my hotspot on. I keep crashing. I did say Davinson Sanchez. I'm not sure if anyone
Yeah,
heard
Yeah,
that.
I
I got
said
you,
Harry
and then
Kane.
he said Kane,
Oh,
so your
right,
turn.
Eric Dyer,
Yeah,
Kieran Trippier.
yeah,
Danny Rose,
yeah,
Jonathan Stones.
yeah,
Marcus Rashford,
yeah, he was there, wasn't
Jordan Henderson.
he? Yeah,
Harry Maguire.
was he at Leicester?
Harry Maguire.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, must have been. Yeah.
Raheem Sterling.
yeah. You've got about 95 players you could have.
Hugo Lloris.
Yeah,
Jordan Pickford.
yeah.
Yerry Mina, or was it Barcelona?
Oh,
yeah, he
no.
was.
Was he at
Oh,
Everton?
wait, was he in the Prem?
I don't
I don't
think he was
think
in the Prem.
I
at
thought
that
he was
time.
at Barcelona.
Oh no.
No, he won in the
Are
Prem.
we having 2 lives each?
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, that's one gone.
I'm just trying not to
As I
name
said-
England players.
Sorry, yeah,
But
it's a little bit.
think quickly though.
Just no,
Think
go on.
of-
Just name them.
Think of your Spain's, your Germany's, your Argentina's, Brazil's,
Yeah.
all of them lot.
Well, yeah, I was gonna sort of gradually.
Yeah, you can, but Jamie said he didn't want to name England. He's just gone for Colombia players so far.
I'll go for.
Where's the countdown, Charles? Come on.
He's got.
Did I say Jesse Lingard?
No.
I'll go Jesse Lingard then.
Yeah.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek.
Did he go to the World Cup?
He
Yeah,
scored.
He did.
No, he didn't.
go.
It came
Well,
off
he
Kane.
didn't score. It came off Kane, but
Was he at Palace? Where was he? Chelsea.
He was at Chelsea, but
Chelsea or
Yeah,
Palace.
yeah,
When he was in the
yeah.
Premier League, because he'd never been
Yeah,
out of the
Chelsea.
Premier League. But
Michy Batshuayi.
yeah,
Kevin De Bruyne.
yeah.
Right. I'm going to say Eden Hazard. Does it mean because he left the summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, does that count?
Jan Vertonghen.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah.
Toby Alderweireld.
Yeah.
Spain. David De Gea.
Yeah.
David Silva.
Yeah.
Cesar Azpilicueta.
Yeah.
Right. Let's go through the Spain team. Why am I stuck?
Don't narrow yourself down to one nationality.
Am I stuck?
There's nationalities that haven't been said yet.
I know.
So big.
Nacho Monreal.
No, you're out of time. Nacho Monreal. What?
I'll give, because that's such a niche shout. I'll give you that.
Yes.
I'll give you
Was
it.
he in?
Yeah, I'll give you it. Jamie can have his life back.
Even
Let's carry on.
Jamie,
though he had about 15
Nah,
seconds.
you can take the life off me, but that's a great shout. We'll be on
No,
live each-
no. Instead of taking you lot, we'll just give Jamie his back, and then we'll carry on from 2 again. Because there's still a lot of players on this list.
Jamie, that is a great shout. You can't.
Gabriel
I thought it
Jesus.
froze again then. Yeah. How stressed he is.
Fernandinho.
Yeah.
Oh, David Luiz.
Why did you sound like you're straining for a shit then?
So I just didn't know if David Luiz.
I don't think he
don't know
did
if
because I
David
remember we
Luiz
did
was
something
that.
like this the other week.
I swear he wasn't in the Prem in
He wasn't.
2018
He was
anyway.
at PSG, wasn't he?
He wasn't
He's
at
not
Chelsea.
there.
Let me have a look.
No, he's not there. He didn't
I
go.
swear he went back to Chelsea, didn't he?
He wasn't there anyway. He didn't get picked.
Yeah,
he didn't go to
he
the
didn't.
World
He
Cup.
didn't go to the World Cup.
Oh.
Raul Jimenez.
The only Wolves player to go to the World Cup is not Raul Jimenez.
What makes turn not in
Did
the
it
World
go?
Cup?
No, he didn't go.
I'll
Was he at
be-
Wolves?
Yeah, he signed in 2018 on loan. So it depends. It depends.
Does that
what
mean
you
it would have been
count.
after the Euros?
He signed, but you don't know whether they signed him in like
Let me have a look.
because they signed him on loan with a view to permanent.
If he was playing for Wolves, if he was a Wolves player, when does the World Cup start?
June the 10th, and it ends July the 10th. Did he sign like July the 11th or something
on.
ridiculous?
No, I'll give you it. He signed in June 2018.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, that was a bit of a sticky one.
I did also say that there was one Wolves player that went to the World Cup that you're not going to get.
What is he still
Not gonna
playing for
get.
Wolves now?
Yeah, he still plays for Wolves, but you're not going to think of him. You obviously don't have to say this player. You can say anyone you want, but there's still a couple of England
Oh,
players
no,
you've missed.
I'm stuck on that player now, and I can see the countdown going down.
All I can think about is
Oh,
a Wolves player.
Romain Sois,
Yeah,
foot out of Morocco. it
Fair
had to be.
play.
yeah.
Had to be.
Alexis Sanchez. Was Chile in the World Cup?
I don't know.
Is he not on there? I don't know whether Chile even went.
I can't remember Chile being in the World Cup.
I don't think he.
Or
I
he
don't
might
think
not
they
have been
did.
at
They were
Arsenal
in the
at that
World
time.
Cup. Oh
He's not on
no,
the list.
they qualified. Yeah, they qualified for the World Cup. Wait. Oh no, they missed out. They lost their last qualifier.
Get
Yeah,
out of here.
yeah, fair play.
Jamie's go.
Willian.
Good one.
Yep.
Both on our last live now.
Yeah.
Let's probably think of one.
It's trying to think of the countries, man.
So that means Patricio didn't go to the World Cup. Oh, unless he wasn't at he might not have been at Wolves, weren't they? But mind you, did they sign him in that summer?
There's no. Well, if you want to take a risk when you've still not mentioned any
Yeah,
German players,
I think I've got a really.
I can't
niche
think of
one.
any. Oh, Skodra Mustafi.
What would you say here?
I can't think of any German players that are in the.
no, you idiot.
What an idiot! What the?
Jamie,
what
I can't think of any-
Jamie,
is this to win it?
have you got one?
Ilkay Gundogan.
Yeah, right. Let me just because this is
I've got a
arguably-
really niche one here. Can I say my really niche?
Yeah.
Off Ali Reza Jakambash.
I don't think he was at
I don't think
Brighton
he was
at
at
the time.
Brighton at the time.
Oh, what?
No. See, so you didn't say there was quite a few England players that you missed. You
I
didn't
wanted
say
to move
Son.
away though.
You didn't say Ericsson. You didn't say Lindelof, who England played against. Matic, Pogba.
To be fair, that Sweden game was well
Lukaku.
boring.
You what?
That Sweden
It
game
was.
was well
It
boring.
was, to be fair. There's Company, Aguero, Ndidi, Vardy, Kasper Schmeichel.
Wait, did someone not say Aguero? I thought you said Aguero, Jamie.
No, No one said Aguero.
I was literally just sat there thinking to myself, Jamie said Aguero, I can't say him.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Fowler.
Kenneth Ormaroo for Nigeria.
I was at Chelsea, weren't I?
Sadio Mane.
Forgot they were there.
Spurs had 12 players though.
What
I don't
British-
think that's
How?
the. We've had some monumental howlers in the game. I don't think that's.
Yeah,
up
but-
there.
Yeah, that's not. It's trying to
it's not
remember
that
the
bad, but there's a
nations
lot
that
of
got
players.
to the World Cup.
Yeah, like Chile. Chile wasn't about. Chile aren't a terrible nation at football.
Yeah, they're
It's
really
just for some
not.
reason they weren't there.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that concludes today. I feel like that is a very, very long episode.
Yeah, that was
I'm not gonna lie.
very
Somehow with
long.
less of us, there's more time speaking.
We've been on enough Discord calls with the three of us to know we'd chat absolute bollocks for
Yeah,
hours on end.
true.
Yeah, I think that's it. Hopefully by next week, Blues have got a new manager.
Oh god.
And if they haven't,
And stop speaking about
Just
Blues.
conclude it.
Conclude the episode.
see you next week.
The Modern Game Podcast.